numbers out this morning show crime in Chicago continues to climb. In the month of November, there were 77 murders, 316 shootings, and 389 shooting victims. That's more than double the number in November of 2015, when 37 people were murdered. Most of the city's crime has been on the south and west sides of the city. Chicago police say despite those high numbers, they have taken a record number of guns off the street.
And joining us now is Superintendent Eddie Johnson, been on the job for 7 months. First of all, thanks so much for getting up early and coming in.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
We certainly do appreciate it. So I've been able to talk to some detectives anecdotally, and they're telling me that, look, the numbers are down, and therefore the homicide solve rate is down. Do you think somehow there could be a mentality out there among the criminals that, hey, they can get away with murder?
Oh, yeah. You know, listen, yesterday the Department of Justice released a report that said attacks on police-involved shootings are up 300% from last year. So that just goes to illustrate how people out there now are willing to shoot at police officers. In Chicago, just over the past week, we have 4 incidents. A few of them, guys were committing shootings right in front of marked squad cars, right in front of them. So if they're not afraid to shoot at police, then imagine, they're not going to be afraid to shoot at other gang members.
What can we do to get the number of detectives up? I hear in Chicago right now, we have 8% of the force's detectives. In New York and LA, it's 12%, or 15%.
Right. So we recognize we need to do a better job at that. So over the next 2 years, we're going to put about another 350 detectives on the payroll.
All right, well, we all hope that will make a difference. So, of course, we do have to ask you about Sergeant John Poulos, who last week shot and killed Kawan Ray. He said he thought that a gun was pointed at him. No gun was ever found. But also back in 2013, Sergeant Poulos shot and killed a man who was breaking into a home. Said he thought that man was armed. That gun, no gun was ever found in that incident as well. My question is, in 2013, IPRA investigated that shooting, and they found it justified. But since 2007, IPRA investigating about 500 shootings and only finding a handful unjustified. Should we be reopening these cases from IPRA, where they have such a low rate of prosecuting these officers, officers are back on the street and committing the same maybe crimes? Well,
you know what? These investigations are complex, and they have to be done thoroughly. So I won't comment on whether or not IPRA did thorough investigations. I would hope that they did, and each of those incidents should stand on its own merit. So, but in terms of the shooting that just occurred with the sergeant, it's under investigation now, so I really can't comment on it. But I just would hope that IPRA conducts themselves the way that we want them to in terms of finding out exactly what happened in these incidents.
But how can you be confident in IPRA when even the mayor is saying it's understaffed? COPA, the new program, is going to be instituted mid-2017 with 45% more staff. So basically, they're understaffed now. How do we know that they're solving these things the way they need to be solved?
Well, I'll tell you this. My focus is on making sure CPD does its due diligence with this stuff. So IPRA, I'll leave that to them to fix it or to ensure that COPA is doing what we need them to do, because we do need oversight, so we welcome that, we embrace it, but in terms of the mechanics of how they do business, I have to leave that to them.
We're pretty much out of time, but real quickly, the murder clearance rate in Chicago, 46%, nationally 63%. Are you confident that we can improve it?
Yes, I think a couple of things will happen. So once we increase the number of detectives, that'll help. But once we restore the trust that we have and that the community has in the CPD, that'll also help us. So I think we can fix that.
I have one more question I want to squeeze in. How was the application process when you opened it up for officers? Did you have a lot of people applying?
Yes, we do. So we're very encouraged, about what we're going to have moving forward. So I'm confident that we'll be able to hit the goal of putting all these 970 officers in over the next couple of years.
Okay, we hope
Superintendent Eddie Johnson, thanks so much for coming in. We know
you,
you've got an amazingly tough
Good
job.
to see you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.